Dwayne,
Hello,
hello.
I'm Dwayne. My name. I also go by Wayne Boy Three. I'm one of the podcast hosts. Hello, Heidi.
Okay. Hi. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Okay.
can hear you good. Looking nice. How your day going?
I am blessed, and so are you and everybody else in the chat. Thanks for
Oh
asking.
yeah, thank you. I'm doing great. I'm currently at a play right now. I can turn up the camera real quick so you can see who my face. I'm an actor. I'm currently on set right now. I'm doing some other acting stuff, but I'm still here in the meeting. I'm gonna ask a few questions as well.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm gonna be in and out. We
All
just
right,
need
Heidi.
one more
First,
person.
tell the people who you are, the people who are listening, who you are, and where you're from.
My name is Heidi Landers. I am from South Florida. I am 55 years old. Why love? Hi, Tiffany.
Okay, so I guess I'm back. I guess I got a little bit of time to ask questions. Why we still waiting on one more of our hosts, Brian, for him to still jump in. But I had just had to step away. Did you tell us a little bit like where you're from and all of that good stuff?
Yes, I am from Florida. I'm from South
Okay,
Florida.
nice.
Mm-hmm. And my name is Heidi Landers.
Great. Okay. I know that whenever Tony first brought you in, he said that you wanted to talk about basically like your story, like basically like talk a little bit about like where you come from, like your background, like how you got to the place you are at now with the followers and stuff like that. So you're doing pretty good on social media and stuff like that. So we want to just give you the chance to like basically just connect with our fans and also explain your brand or like whatever you got going on now. And,
Okay.
just to talk a bit about yourself.
Well, what can I say? I'm a childhood
Say
shit.
whatever. The floor
I
is yours.
mean,
Say whatever.
because
Feel
I'm
comfortable.
actually on live, so I'm
Okay.
trying to. I don't want to get violations on my live. So, but
Okay.
I come from a dysfunctional background. My
Okay.
mom was a alcoholic, a functioning alcoholic. My dad was a functioning alcoholic. Me growing up, I saw a lot of things between my dad doing to my mom, and I thought it was just wrong. I grew up living like this. My grandmother is the one discovered my identity. Growing up, my mom allowed me to live my life just the way I'm supposed to live. She didn't try to change me or send me to no therapist or anything like that. She just allowed me to live my life. My daddy, on the other hand, he was okay, but not okay. But no harm was given or done.
Right. How was that? Like how was that? How did that affect you like in the long run? You just seem like such a strong like, person. So like
Well, seeing things that my dad was doing to my mom, it was just traumatizing. As a kid, you don't never want to see your dad
you're
physically
right.
or mentally
Right.
abuse your mother.
Yeah.
That's just something don't no child want to ever have to experience. So it was very traumatizing to me. Then I was also bullied by family members because of my lifestyle. They was trying to tell my mom, my aunts. I had aunts and uncles that always used to try to tell my mom, oh, that boy, he need to stop. You need to take him to a therapist. It's something wrong with him, baby. It's nothing wrong with my child. My child is okay, sweetheart.
Right.
So it was just a lie, and then being bullied by my family members, my cousins and stuff. So it was just a lot. So it pushed me to a place where I really didn't want to go. But sometimes we go to places Sometimes we go to places in life that we choose not to go, but it actually be a building stone for us as individuals to learn who we are, to overcome the things, and just love ourselves.
Exactly, exactly. I love that. So, were you born and raised in Florida? Like, did you grow up most of your life? Is
Yes,
that where you
I was.
currently like, or like
Yeah, I
where
was
you still
born and
do a
raised.
lot of traveling?
Hmm?
I said, is that so? That was where you like born and raised? You grew up most of your childhood life in Florida?
Yes, I'm born and raised here in Florida.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, well, that's
Hmm.
cool. I know that's pretty
Yes,
rough, especially with the school systems and the stuff out there. I heard it can get pretty rough out there in Florida, like especially in certain parts,
right,
like Miami and all of those good spots. Are you
right.
local to Miami? Do you do a lot of traveling often?
I'm between Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good.
Hmm. You going in and out?
Okay, I'll probably be going in and out. Sorry about that. But
Okay.
let me see. My next question for you too, and then our next host, Brian, is in here as well. Now, Brian, you can introduce yourself. Brian, are you on here? Well, I guess Brian is not on here just as yet, but bear with us.
Where
We
is
all still learning,
Tony?
right, Tony? Tony, you could hop up on the platform and speak up, ask a few questions.
Thank you
Okay.
guys for the taps. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Okay. It says. Oh, it says accept me. One second. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. He had to, I had to send Brian into the. Okay, so Brian is now in us now. So Brian, you are in now. You can introduce yourself.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I
Yep.
can hear you.
Okay. Hi, how you doing? I'm Bryant.
Hi, my name is Heidi Landers.
Hello, Heidi. I did watch some of your videos.
Okay, thank you.
I love that. So where's Tony? Are you guys ready? Or what's going on?
Uh, yeah. So basically, I started off. I asked a few questions. Basically, let her open them open up the floor to basically give us a background where they're from. A little bit of upbringing. I know they already spoke about the family with troubles back home with her, with her with their parents and stuff like that. So I opened up the floor for that one. And then we're just going to follow up with some more questions. I was going to let you ask some stuff next.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. You guys want me to wait for Tony or just go ahead? Okay, so did you want to, were you comfortable with talking about the prostitution part?
Baby, I'm an open book. I started prostituting at the age of 12.
Clock it.
I started working the streets at the age of 12. Coming from a very traumatic experience, dysfunctional family, being bullied. It pushed me to the streets. I started being very rebellious. I'm not originally from the South Florida area, but I am originally from Florida. So my mom actually sought me from Martin County. I was born and raised in Martin County. Stewart, Florida is a small town on the other side of West Palm Beach, Florida. That's where I was born and raised there. Till I was about 9. Then I came down south in the Miami Fort Lauderdale area, and that's where I literally start just being very rebellious. I met some girls. Well, my aunt and them knew some girls, and I used to always, I was like, well, what they doing out here, And my aunt and them used
Right,
to tell me, well, like, well, these are, they're trans, they're, transvestites and stuff. Because back in the 80s, that's what they used to call trans girls, transvestites. They didn't call them trans back then. They used to call them transvestites.
right.
So I got into working very early at the age of 12. I was going to school and I was working the streets.
Oh, so like,
Wow.
what is that like? Like you say, you like
Right,
working in
going
the
to school
streets.
and working the
Like you
street.
got to break it
Like,
down into detail, like for a person like me.
I mean, like in what way? Like,
Like you was in elementary school and also prostituting.
um, I'm not gonna say it was scary. It was, I don't know. I guess I was searching for.
Well, let's follow up with that. Have you ever, like, what was your dangerous, like, what was your most scariest situation or like most
I've never had a danger.
excited situation that you'd
No,
have been in?
I've never had a scary situation.
You say you don't play with them. You say you don't
And
play with
I've
them. They
never,
know.
just, I mean, just by being in the streets and just, I guess when people, I don't know, I don't know, people, you approach, the tricks approach you and you just got to know how to approach the tricks, I guess.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just something that, I mean, it just came very natural to me. So it was like really easy.
Yeah. How did you keep yourself protected like during all this?
Um, I didn't really.
Right.
I have a strong faith in God, so I know God. God was covering me. So
Yeah, it's always good to keep God first. Definitely in the street, well, whatever you do, it's always good to keep God
most
first.
definitely.
Definitely. But that had to be scary. But what actually, what age did you feel like you wanted to be trans, or you knew that you were going to be trans?
As I was telling your friend, I grew up like this. My grandmother saw it in me, and
Mm-hmm.
my mom just allowed me to be myself.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
So it was never an issue with my sexuality. It was an issue for some family members, but it was never an issue with my parents.
Okay. Okay. So let's change up the topic a little bit. So what do you do with your social media? Like, what do you do with your platform? Like, I know we was
Um,
watching your social media. I know you like to just talk a little bit about yourself and stuff. But like, what is your main goal with social media? Like for your
my
followers, like to
my
interact
main
with.
goal is to um tell my story and hope my story reach somebody that they can overcome their situation. Um, to live, to be a better them. If they're dealing with trauma or if they ever experience trauma, to face it head on, seek help, seek therapy. It's nothing wrong with that. In the Black community, we was always told to keep everything up under the rug and don't bring it outside of the house. No, sweetheart, I'm not doing that.
Right.
So that's what I really do on my social media.
Okay, so do you have any words of advice for like the new, the younger generation that, that's facing hardships, because I know everyone, not everyone has a family, and like you said, you didn't have a family, you had really like yourself, so you had to grow up with that street love, that street mentality, you know what I mean, like, but for different people in different walks of life, like I'm from Chicago, it's different navigating in a place like that for people of like
I
She
had
did have a
like
mother.
you.
She had her mother.
I had, I did, yeah, I had two parents, and my
Okay.
mom sent me to South Florida to stay with my aunt. My aunt was very loving. She just didn't knew what I was doing until one day they arrested me, and they told her to come to the juvenile detention center to pick me up, and that's when she discovered I was prostituting. But she has always been a major force in my life. She's deceased. Um, she's always
Sorry
been
to
a
hear
major
that.
force. She's always been a major force in my life. Want me to get off the street. Even my brother, my only sibling, he's no longer here. Also,
Hmm.
there was a major force in trying to help me get my life together. But when you're not healed properly, you ain't gonna never get your life together.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Amen to that.
So you have to literally sit down and literally heal. Like you have to
Hmm.
face your trauma head on to understand that
So,
you have a
are
problem.
you are you playing that mother role? Because like with houses and stuff like that, everyone has a mother. Or do you play the mother
No,
role to anyone, or like do you have
no.
people that look up to you now, or like?
If they do, I don't know about it. But I mean, like,
I'm sure
I'm
you
sure
got
you
fans. I'm
do.
sure it's like people right now
Yeah.
on your live and they're loving it
um,
and reacting right now. So you definitely got a lot of
just
fans and followers. Like
yes,
they're
I have
definitely
a.
reacting to your live because I'm watching them the live as well right now.
Okay, it's just I don't know. I just try to bring a positive impact to social media to let people know that No matter what you're going through, always smile through it. It get greater later. People go through things in life. We're not perfect. But don't never let anybody tell you anything different about you. Um, and just keep striving, you know. So
Yeah.
Exactly. That is some great advice, actually. But I do have a question. So we know like
mhm.
what kind of got you started with like the street life and the prostitution and everything. But I want to know what got you to stop. Like what pulled you out of that?
I went to prison for
That's actually a
15
good question
years.
because I know it's hard. Once you start, it's hard to stop.
I
Right.
I went to prison for 15 years.
Oh wow.
Um,
Yeah,
in the
let's get
time
into
of me,
that. Let's get into that.
in the time of me, okay, I've been to prison like 5 times prior to spending 15 years in prison. I've been to prison 5 times prior, but due to that, that was because I had a narcotic addiction. I was hooked on crocodile, if you know what that is.
Uh-huh.
Um, I started using hardcore narcotics at the age of 15. So that led me to just start being very, 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 very aggressive. Um, I went to prison at the age of 17. I graduated high school at 17. Um, I went to my best friend. She told it was both of us. We did a crime together, and she told I did it. So it went from there, and I just started spiraling out of control after that.
Wow.
Mhm.
So like what got you to that point where it was like I'm done like selling my body?
Sitting in prison, like who want to go to prison and sit there for 15 years? Like I
Right.
mean, like it was just a wake up call for me because I just felt as though it was just time for me to get my life together. I had already lost my mom, I had already lost my brother. I did try to do something really stupid. I just felt as though that why God taking them when He should have took me. I was the bad person, and I always carried that mindset around with me. And when I came home for the last time, that's when I went back for the 15 years. So in the process of me going back to prison for the 15 years, I just had like this mindset, like you know what, get you together, work on your trauma,
Right.
heal you, get your life together. You know, this is not gonna be forever. Whatever you need to do to work on you, do it. Get, you know, because this not made for you. This like but I do understand that God sometimes put us in places that we need to be at to get us together though.
Yeah, that's true. So when you was dealing with your trauma, like you just now said, like that time you was dealing with your trauma, what did
Yes,
you
I was
do?
in and out of prison.
Was that like dealing with your trauma? Was that like going to church or getting actual therapy, or how did you do that?
I was seeking therapy inside of the penal system. Prayer, also, you know, just praying a lot, just reading the Bible. Just you know, just overcoming the things that I knew that pushed me to the streets. Talking
Wow.
about it, just always talking about it.
Yeah, talking about it definitely will help you. Will help
Hmm.
anybody get through all that. Like just talking about it, telling your story. I always feel good talking about shit. I mean stuff that I've been through. So
Right. I mean, 15 years when I got sentenced, I was like, oh my God, like, am I really finna sit in prison for 15 years? Like, do I really have to sit here for 15 years? But it was a breaking point at that point. Like, I just didn't want to die in nobody's system. I didn't want to die in the streets. I didn't want to continue to go in and out of the system at an old age and stuff like that. I was like, let me get my life together. So I was
yeah,
actually facing 30 years in prison.
but you saying 15.
No, I was facing. I took my charges to trial. I was charged with a hate crime. The charge I had was consist of someone bothering me because of my gender, and I choose the latter. I choose to slice him. I gave him
Mm-hmm.
60 some staples in his face, chest, and arms. And I had a boyfriend at the time when I did it, so it was just a lot. I'm an easygoing person. I love to. I'm very humble. Even when I was on narcotics, I was always laughing, always having fun. That's how I mask my pain. That's how I used to mask my pain. Just always laughing, just being joyful. That's just who I am as an individual.
Right.
Um, and when you bother me, then I have a different side. So, um, the prosecutor told me if I go to trial and lose, they was gonna give me 30 years. But God is good. It was this guy that was in the cell, this older YT guy. He told me, he said, "Baby," he said, "Do you know you're in rock court?" I said, "No, I don't know I'm in rock court." He said, "Listen. So what you need to do is you need to go in there and you need to fast for 3 days." I went in the room and I fasted for 3 days. When I went back to court, the judge said, "You know what? I'm not gonna let you get 30 years. This is my courtroom. I run my courtroom the way I want to run my courtroom. If you don't have no vicious charges, I'm not giving you 30 years." But the prosecutor was hell bent on me getting 30 years because I was just released from prison 25 days, 30 days prior to me going back to the county jail for the charges I had.
That is crazy.
Hmm.
So, do you regret
I don't regret
doing what you
anything I
did?
ever did in life.
Right.
I don't regret nothing I ever did in life. I do not regret it at all. That's how I became the person that I am today. You should never do anything in life that you have to have a regret about it.
Right.
Never. You should never live like that. Sometimes God take us to places that we need to go to be a better us.
And what was it like getting out after all that time? Because I know if you go somewhere for a few months and come back, everything seemed totally different. So how was that coming back into the world after all that time?
It wasn't really hard adjusting to society because I was literally I had a cell phone in prison, and I kept up to date with all the newest electronics and stuff like that, and I don't know, I was just me personally. I picture myself there for a reason. I picture myself there getting me together to better myself, to heal, to overcome the things I was going through on the street. So I mean, it was no factor to me when I came home. I eased
Right.
myself right on into it, right back into it.
That's how you're supposed to. Just gonna adjust.
Yeah, it didn't take me long. It definitely didn't take me long to adjust back to society.
I love that. And what was I gonna ask you? Okay, so you had a video on TikTok that went viral with your dog. One, I
With
was gonna
my
ask you.
dog,
Yeah, it was a dog. The dog was hunching.
that didn't go viral. That was you talking? Oh, you was hunching the bait.
It was
You
it
was
was it
hunching.
was it was it was kind of viral. You got a lot of likes on there, a lot of shares.
When he was hunching the guy's arm.
Yeah. How did your dog learn how to hunch like that?
I don't know, sweetheart. My dog
Little
is a
freaky dog.
mess. My baby is a mess. Um. That was actually someone I was dating at the time, and my baby, he just a mess. I had him since he was a puppy, so he was, my ex. He put his arm out, and MK just started hunching it.
Do you still got that dog?
Yes, he's Papa. You got my baby right there.
Oh my God, look at him. Him is so cute. He laid all out, chilling.
Yes, that's my baby.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you got any other pets or do
No, I only have him. Hmm. Thank you guys for the taps. Thank you. Hi, sis. Thank you guys for the taps. Thank you. Hi, Mika. Hey, here with me. Hi, Tonia. Yes, I'm okay, baby. Where's my auntie? Hey, Lady Shar. Thank you, Tonia. Thank you. Hi, Joyce. I love you also, lover. Lady Shar, you in the room? Thank you guys for the taps. Thank you, India. Thank you. Hello. Hello. They're still in here. Hello. Thank you, India, for the heart me. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, lover. Your son went to prison when he was 18, and you pray that he turned his life around. He got to do the work. Yeah. I just want it better for me, Tonia. So just I don't know. Some people go to prison and they just he's 27 now. Yeah, he got to do the work. Because I mean, they do give you the tools to get your life together inside of the system, but it's up to you to use the tools they give you to make your to get your life together. You know, some people just go there, do their time, and just get back out and do the same thing. So he got to put in the work if he really wanted to stay out of the system.
Okay. I got a question. So my question would be, did you ever get into any fights or any altercations in jail? Like where you had to
Yeah.
name a time where you had to like defend yourself and like you can make it funny, it could be a
um,
serious story or like whatever you feel comfortable talking about. Like just give us one funny story that you had in there
I
that you were
think I
like,
have. I think the whole time, the first time I went to prison, I didn't get into no altercations. They kept me room house by myself. The second time, I didn't get into no altercations. The third, I really didn't get into no altercations until the fourth or the fifth time I went to prison, and that was with this girl, another girl, um, and a guy who snuck and broke my jaw because I was beating him up. That was it.
He snuck you.
Hmm.
I
And
said
that
he
was
snuck you.
Yeah. He snuck me in prison. Yeah, he snuck me in the bathroom.
wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Thank you, guys.
Um,
Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
the fans love it.
Right.
Yeah. Prison, people make prison out to be this big scary place but it's not. It is to certain people because you got to have a very strong mentality to actually go through the shit they have going on in prison. Um and it's really crazy because a lot of people can't handle the pressure of the system. So
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. So, do you have anything new that's coming up? Like, are you working on any projects? Like, or do you plan on like auditioning for stuff? Like, are you that type of person? Like,
I would love
reality
to
TV?
audition. I've auditioned one time prior for I forgot what it was. I think it was like last year. I did audition for something, but I didn't get the part. But my main focus is being a motivational speaker. I'm going out speaking
Oh
to
yeah,
youth.
definitely.
I would love to speak to youth. I would love to encourage youth and even DMV women.
Mm-hmm.
I have been a DMV person also inside of the system. I had abusive boyfriends inside of the system.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've experienced that also.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about that. So, I know you talked about like, did you ever have to deal with like domestic violence from like one of your partners and stuff? Because I know, like, people, from your community like deal with a
Yeah,
lot of that, like a lot of like the backlash, having to fight, domestic
yeah.
violence, protecting yourself. Like, are you willing to talk about one of those experiences where you had with
Yes, I
someone,
don't
or
have a
like,
problem. When you see when I saw my mama accepting this type of behavior, so it was just me following in the same footsteps as her because
mm-hmm,
I seen her going through it, my father.
mm-hmm,
So seeing that, it was just okay. This is what she's doing. She is, she passed this on. I mean, this is what's going on with me. So I'm just doing the same thing she doing. So yes, I have had abusive partners inside of the system. Um, but thank God I'm here. Nothing. I done been beat up on the bunk. I was beat up on the bunk by my partner. I was actually sliced on my thigh by one partner. Um, he actually took the blade because I was getting ready to slice him, but he took the blade away from me because he was bigger than me. Um, so he took the blade and sliced me on my thigh and told me if I told the officers or the nurses what happened, he was gonna harm me. Ooh,
oh wow, oh wow, and that's
That
yeah.
is crazy. I
oh
cannot
wow.
imagine.
So
Oh
was that? I
God.
can tell like you wasn't scared. Like you
Like
like such a
what?
strong person. You act
Like
like they
what?
none of this
Like
phased you.
I
Like
Right.
mean,
you
like
like, oh yeah, I got stabbed in the leg, but it wasn't nothing.
like like if anything, I'm gonna defend myself first. Now, if you get the upper hand on me while I'm trying to defend myself, oh well, so be it. But I'm not going laying down.
Right,
That's
exactly.
just not gonna happen. No, that's just not gonna fucking happen. So, and I knew I was, I'm
You
very
say
tiny. I'm
guns
very
blazing.
little. So I knew I had to always have the upper hand. Hey,
Hmm.
Mackin. So
Yeah, you definitely gotta defend yourself. Did anybody teach you how to defend yourself, or you just had to get out here
I
and
grew
do it?
up. I grew up with a bunch of rough cousins.
Right.
So my girl cousins, they fight men and all. So I just grew up in a rough environment with my family members. Fighting your cousins because of your lifestyle and stuff like that, defending yourself with your family and stuff. So
Yeah,
I definitely
definitely,
understand
definitely.
that.
That's pretty cool. At least, like I said, you're such a strong person from that. Like, I'll say probably my advice would be, I don't know, like, stop dealing with these crazy people. I don't know.
I listen,
But
sweetheart.
love is a thing. Maybe love is one thing. So I want you to also talk about that, like how love has changed you, like your ups and downs with love and your relationships. 'Cause I'm sure like that moment had to lead up
Um,
to something.
my last relationship was very I used to work at this gas station in Fort Lauderdale, and it was very the relationship I wouldn't even call it a relationship. I was trying to help somebody become a better version of themselves.
Hmm.
They was abusing narcotics, and it was just like I don't know, for some reason it seemed like I'm just always picking up these strays, um
Hmm.
Mm.
trying to kill them, you know.
Not the strays.
like like just trying to kill, like sorry,
No.
like for real, like
It really be like
I
that
don't know.
sometimes.
It's just like when you see somebody going through something like your heart just really like your heart just really ache. Like what, I've been through that. I
Hmm.
let's see if I can help that person overcome that. And that's what it was. I tried to help this individual overcome, and he was just a piece of shit. Very toxic. Just he ain't love himself. So,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time, I mean, at the time I didn't love myself because this I was trauma bonding, obviously, because this
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker, he was still, he's still going through his trauma, like, and I had
Mm-hmm.
been in prison for 15 years, so it was something missing. It was something missing in
Yeah,
me
it's like I
for
gotta
me
love
to actually
myself.
connect with this motherfucker. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of soul searching on myself.
Exactly.
Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
this not the type of energy I want. This not the type of man I want. This not the type
Mm-hmm.
of person that really, I want to say, okay, you can change. No, because a person gonna only change when they want to change. So
Yeah, that's good. That I would say that's some good advice for other people as well. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta love yourself, as much as you wanted to so much to be there for someone and be that rock and be that shield. It's all about protecting yourself and knowing how hard you fought to get where you're at now. And like
yeah,
I'm just so proud of you for still, being a strong person that you are. You engage with your friends every day. You're constantly giving us another story and another side of Heidi that a lot of people love to see. So I'm just happy to see that and happy to see you grow and to continue to share your story, because it is important. Like it is important, for us, especially us as youth, as as a younger generation, to see that struggle and to see people excel from that, and really not care what people have to say, the backlash, because there are people and you got hundreds of fans that's on here that's loving what you have to say and that's actually listening. So I condemn you for that. I congratulate you for that. And I say
Thank
continue being
you.
yourself. I
I
respect
just
that.
always, I just always grew up with my mom always telling me and my sibling, me and my brother, that baby, this, don't give two fucks about what somebody say about you. You. So I just always had that mindset. I just always had that mindset growing up. Don't worry about what others think of you, how others may perceive you, how others may look at you. Just be you.
Definitely, definitely.
I do love that. That's probably the best advice anybody can actually give me personally. The advice I want to give, I would tell you to keep on telling your story every chance you get because it will definitely touch people,
Mm-hmm.
younger people, older people. From what I have sat and listened to, it touched me. And definitely
Definitely.
because I feel like the life that I live is not really, orthodox to everybody. It ain't very normal. So at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be somebody like you in the future where I just don't care and I'm able to freely live my life and just be
Exactly.
comfortable
Exactly.
and be able to also have enough confidence to tell my story
Because everyone has a story.
be
So.
comfortable. Yeah, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
easy for everybody to tell their stories. And also, like you said, in some families, black families in particular, it's almost like, keep this under the rug or don't talk about
Yeah.
this, just stay
Mm-hmm.
in the house or, all these family secrets. And I feel like
Yes.
this generation and a few of the last generations is kind of like breaking that cycle. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely commend you for doing that. And
So
thank you so much for doing this with us also.
yes,
You're
thank you. I
very
would
much welcome.
I would maybe also, how are you with your family now? Are you connected with your
Uh,
family? Do you keep in contact with them? I know the family is always a tough situation
I
for
had
everyone. So,
Yeah.
um I don't know. I have an aunt and an uncle. I
I'm sure you
do,
love them a lot. You mentioned your aunt
I
a
do,
lot,
I
so
do,
I can tell how much you have love for her.
but when it comes to my love, I just overlove me. And it took me a long time to get to this spot.
Mm-hmm.
Some people ain't gonna accept you for you, so those are the people you have to just say, okay, whether they're family, friends, or foes, it doesn't matter. You have to just let them see you can love them from a distance. And I have come to that type of place in my life where I'm my mom's only sibling, only child. So
Oh, okay.
my brother, he was older than me. He's deceased. So
I'm sorry to hear
I'm
that.
doing everything I need to do, honey, to live
Exactly.
live my life.
Exactly.
I don't give two fucks who don't love me, who don't like me.
Exactly.
That goes for family, aunts, uncles. It does not matter, sweetheart. As long as I love my motherfucking self, at the end of the day, that's all that matters the most, and I fucking overlove me. Yes, sweetie.
Yes,
Exactly.
I love
Most
that.
Yes.
definitely.
I love that. So I wish we was doing this in Atlanta because well we're originally stationed in Atlanta, which that's where our podcast usually be. But I definitely love talking to you, and I definitely feel like we have because we really didn't have too many questions to ask you. We really want to just pop in, get a feel for you, let you explain us a little bit more about yourself. But
Okay.
if you would love to be on the podcast again, I feel like we should definitely have you back and like
In
definitely get
person.
into some more
In person. That
questions.
would be great.
I
In
would love to
person.
come back and do another interview with you guys.
Yes, definitely.
I'm just
Maybe
trying to
even if
get
it's
my story out
hmm
to people, especially younger people, especially in the LGBTQ world. Um, that no matter whatever you go through in life, love yourself. Don't
exactly.
let nobody tell you anything
Amen.
different. Your mama can't tell you anything different. Your daddy can't. That's your
Amen.
mom, that's your daddy. You can love them from afar. It doesn't matter.
Make
Just
your own family. What they
yeah,
say.
you have to make your own family, sweetie. Yes.
hmm Yeah, I love that. I love that. Again, thanks again. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up. We ain't gonna take too much of time. We already been on for like an hour, and I thank you for
Okay.
your time.
But it was
You're
good.
very much welcome. You guys are
Like I
very
said, you
much
see, I'm here.
welcome.
Hold on. Hold on, what's just happened? As you see, I'm here filming on
Yeah,
the
I
set
see.
right now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I said, it's a pleasure to have you. I wish we could. I would love to have you back again, where we can be able to ask you more questions, be able to really sit down and dive into these things. Now we have an idea of like, where you come from, like at least what you feel comfortable talking about. So I feel like we'll be way more prepared, and we'll have way more to talk about for you then.
Yeah.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem.
Awesome.
Yes.
And
It
if,
was
like I
great
said,
meeting
if
you.
it goes well, then we may even have you down in Atlanta, hopefully.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you
Definitely.
guys.
Okay, yeah, thank you. And I
And
got to get
thank
back
you
Thank
into
guys
set.
for
you.
Well,
allowing me
thanks
to
again,
be a
y'all.
part of y'all
Thanks again for tuning
podcast.
in to the Three Live Podcast. This was your host,
Thank you.
Brian, Wayne, and Tony. He's somewhere up in there. And then we have our special guest, Heidi. Be sure to check them out on they're on anything. TikTok, was it? Go ahead and share your TikTok name.
Yeah, my TikTok name is Heidi Landers.
Awesome.
Heidi Lenders. That
Okay,
was
all
so
right.
Yes,
much
Heidi
fun. We can't
Landers.
wait to see you again, Heidi.
Yeah,
Have a
see
great
Thank
you.
night.
you. And you guys have an amazing, blessed night, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. You
You too.
too.
You're welcome.